Hey everybody, welcome back to the Raw Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, y'all know I have to invite everyone in. Listen, have you subscribed? If you hadn't subscribed and you've been hanging around enjoying our terrific community over here, listen, come on and be a part of it. And all you have to do is go down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell so you know when I upload and when I just want to pop in, and give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. I'm telling you, it's on my neck. It is, but we all know that will not last for long because y'all be coming through for me. Y'all do. Y'all be coming with the thumbs up. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Also, I want to say a big thank you to all of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Listen, I know that's not easy. I know it can get a little tedious, but it helps so much, and I'm so appreciative. And y'all are doing such a bang-up job. Y'all are. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I'll be so happy, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, look around, find that super thanks button and click it, because all donations to the channel is always, always greatly appreciated. Also, we have some super thanks, we do. And I want to start it off with none other than Yulette. She is a treasure. Let me tell you, Yulette just came out of nowhere and she has just become such a huge, huge part of this community. And I am so grateful and so thankful for her. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Yulette. Thank you for being a ride or die. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for being a part of this community. And thank you for showing up time after time after time. Thank you for being here. Also, Annette Sweat. Yes, Annette. Ooh, she is unwavering in her support for the read. She has been here since the beginning. And let me tell you, Annette is everything. Ride or die. Ride or die. And I am so grateful and so thankful for her as well. Her wisdom, her kindness, her consistent support is just everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Annette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Lorna McKenzie came through. Yes, she did. Yes, Lorna came through. She is a ride or die, ride or die. I'm telling you, Lorna is always, always coming through with the support. So lucky to have her. So absolutely over the moon to have her as a part of this community. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Lorna. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And yes, 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 my girl who is everything and know that she is everything, that would be Tiger Mommy. Yes, Tiger Mommy came on through. Tiger Mommy has been with me just about since the beginning, and she absolutely is always, always down with the read. She is a ride or die, ride or die. Always coming through with the support, always in those comments, dropping that knowledge. She's just everything. I'm telling you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Tiger Mommy. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. All right, y'all. I'm going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. right, y'all. I want to give another quick shout out to Yulette, Annette Sweat, Lorna McKinney, and Tiger Mommy. Yes, thank y'all so very much. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for coming through. Thank you just for being you. Thank you for being a part of this community. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, I have been on these streets, and some interesting things are being discussed. Yes, the squatties are talking about the upcoming Invictus games, and the sun, or should I call it the scum, has started to be on its BS when it comes to Harry and Meghan. They have two separate stories out, one about Meghan, one about Harry, and we're going to discuss that. And also, y'all, I hate to be messy, but guess who did not acknowledge his own wife's birthday? I'm telling you, we all know Kitty Cat's birthday was yesterday, but somebody that's supposed to be her husband, her soulmate, her everything, did not say a word. Did not say a word. And let me tell you this is funny too. This is funny too. All of the ugly old hags, all of the trolls and the smelly, smelly skanks, they had the nerve to have a virtual birthday party for Kate, and nobody really showed up. Girls, we got to talk about that and be very, very messy about it. So we got a lot of other stuff as well. Listen, I'm not going to keep y'all long, but I am going to keep it messy, messy, messy today because we got something to be messy about. And first, I'm going to start with this. And as you can see, they have started with the bullshit already when it comes to Invictus games. Well, we all knew it was going to happen, but we were hoping that it wouldn't happen quite yet, that they would at least wait until the year in which the games are going to happen. But no, it would not be those rags over there if they didn't start and just continue to try to make money churning out this BS, about Harry and Meghan and surrounding these games. Now, this particular squatty posted the front page of the scum, and as you can see, it's all about Meghan as usual. These people going through their 5 stages of grief after over a half a decade still has not made it to acceptance yet. So here they are, and here we are having to deal with the bullshites. And as you see, it says Duchess plots UK trip. Plots? What kind of word is that? Like Meghan is somewhere in a dark closet with a flashlight and a pen and paper trying to map out her way to get back to the UK. It is ridiculous. And it says Meghan's summer return. And they have no idea whatsoever if Meghan is going to show up for the Invictus Games in 2027 or not. They don't. But let's not get it twisted. This is the scum. They don't care about the truth. They don't have to have Harry and Meghan's spokesperson to tell them if Meghan is coming or not. They could care less about that. Oh, big head Matt Wilkerson, he could care less about getting it right. He cares more about how many issues of that rag they can push out to their fevered-minded readers and get them all riled up about Harry and Meghan. Because Meghan said this a long time ago, that these rags, they don't report the news, they create the news. And this right here is a perfect example of that. They have no idea what's going on with Harry and Meghan and what their plans are around Invictus, but they come up with this bullshit. And not only is the scum coming up with it, they are repeating what Jenny Bond has said. Y'all remember in my last podcast, I think it was, I talked about Jenny and how she was warning Meghan not to come to the UK. Just let Harry come and bring the kids. Y'all remember that? And let me tell you, some of the squatties drug her for filth about that. They did. And the rest of them cussed her out because how dare you? How dare you tell a mother not to come with her children? So yes, the squatties was not pleased with that. And because of that little warning that Jenny Bond gave to Meghan, this particular squatty posted this and said, and they're off. Apparently, Duchess plots UK trip. Yes, they came up with this little ditty. I cannot believe them. But then, yes, I can. Like I said, I was hoping they would at least wait until the year of the Invictus Games before they started to get on this bullshit. But here we go. Here we go, squatties. I'm telling y'all, mount up. Get ready. It is going to be hand-to-hand combat from this point on because these people are ready to go. And we're going to have to go to battle with this nonsense. And all I can say is mount up because I'm already on my horse. I'm ready. And I'm going to put this up. And this squatty posted some segments from this article by Matt. My head is abnormally big. Wilkinson, yes, the one who looks like his shirt is blowing an abnormally big bubble. Yes, that Matt Wilkinson. He absolutely is losing his mind. And if you know who this person is and knows anything about what he does and what he has said about Harry and Meghan in the past, you know he is very fevered minded. He really is. And I'm just going to read just a little bit of it. It says, momentum is gathering for Meghan's return as well as Harry's wish for him and his family to get taxpayer-funded armed security. It comes amid the thawing of relations between Harry and his father, King Charles. Yes, and then it goes on to that. But they are chomping at the bit for this family, for the Sussex family to show up over there. They cannot wait. They know that they squandered these opportunities to make huge money. When Harry and Meghan was working royals, they had exclusive rights to all of the pictures, all of the interviews. They had first choice at it. And they fumbled the bag. And now they know that they fumbled the bag. And they are just chomping at the bit to get Harry and Meghan and Archie and Lily over there. But I think they might absolutely be disappointed. The kids might not show up. And Meghan is still iffy. But I digress. Yes, he wrote that. And this squatty said, it's mathagician hoping his magic wand will make it happen. Yes, he wants it so bad. They want it so bad. Like I said, they know they fumbled the bag. Can you imagine how much money those rags would be making if Harry and Meghan had stayed working royals and now they would have Lily and Archie there? Boy, they would be in the black instead of circling the drain. And like I said, they know they fumbled the bag. They know they fumbled the bag. And that is the reason why they cannot move through the 5 stages of grief. They are still stuck on bargaining. They have not got to acceptance yet. And it has been half of a decade. And one more thing I want to discuss in this article, and it's this part right here where it says, On the Sunday Royal exclusive show this week, we discussed if Charles was being emotionally blackmailed by Harry's threat that he could not return with his children without gun cops. Any change to his security would, in effect, rewrite the Mexican term from 2020. Now, this right here is nothing more than this flying monkey trying to rewrite history, trying to convince people that Charles is really the victim here. But let's not get it twisted. Charles is the same man who took Frogmore Cottage away from Harry and Meghan and his own grandchildren. If Charles wanted to see his grandchildren, they would still have a UK home, and that UK home would be Frogmore Cottage. But he chose to take that away from them. And as for security, Frogmore Cottage sits within Windsor Great Park and would be covered by that security. Okay, so Charles knew all this and still took Frogmore Cottage away from Harry and Meghan and those babies. Harry said he told his father at the time, if you take Frogmore Cottage away from me and Meghan, don't you ever want to see your grandchildren? Because they would not have a UK home that would be secure. And you know what Charles did? He took it away anyway. So miss me with this nonsense that you're spewing, Matt Big Head Wilkerson, because Charles is not the victim here. Not by a long shot. It is Harry, Meghan, and those babies, because they have had to deal with the bullshit that has been coming out of Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace for 6 whole years. And they have not been in any way protected from all the slings and arrows that you rags have absolutely set upon them with. So miss me with the sympathy play that you're trying to get for Charles. Ain't nobody blackmailing him. Charles don't even care about Prince Archie and Prince Lily. He don't even care about the ones that are there in country with him. All he cares about is Charles. And I don't even really think he even cares really about the horse anymore. Charles cares about himself. And the only reason this whole thing is shifting or starting to shift is he sees that he can get something out of it. Good PR. That's all it's about. Because at the end of the day, it is always Charles first. So miss me with the bullshit. Okay. And I'm going to put this because I just found it so interesting. We talked about the obsession that these flying monkeys have for Harry and Meghan, and it's real. You can document it. It is real. And this particular squatty is doing exactly that when it comes to those documentaries on Channel 5, which I find ridiculous. How can you just play the same thing over and over and over again? Have the same people, the same flying monkeys saying the same thing over and over and over again about a couple who have not lived in your country in over 6 years, and when Meghan lived there, only lived there 18 months. Make that one make sense. But this squatty says documentary every Channel 5 Saturday night royal special focused on Prince Harry and Meghan, as these specials are overwhelmingly biased against the Sussexes. It'll be interesting to see how often Channel 5 monetized Meghan's hate in 2026. Examples of some of previous ones. And I'm going to put up the previous ones. Now, these are documentaries about Harry and Meghan that was aired in 2025. We got Harry and Meghan, What's Next? We got Harry and Meghan's American Nightmare. I wonder what that was, because Harry and Meghan have been living their best life, and anybody who has been paying attention knows that to be true. Where is the nightmare? But I digress. It says Harry and Meghan going their separate ways. Well, we all know what that was about when they were talking about Harry and Meghan divorcing, and they were trying to use the fact that Harry and Meghan was doing different things. They had different interests. Meghan was starting with Love Meghan. She was doing her podcast. She was doing a whole lot of stuff. And Harry was doing a lot of his humanitarian work. So, yes, they took that in order to make this just misleading documentary talking about they were going their separate ways. And then we had Harry and Meghan, is America turning against them? Yes, they had that. Well, I hope that question has been answered, because Harry and Meghan are embraced by the American people as much as private citizens can be embraced, because that's exactly what they are. They're private citizens. We don't do polls and we don't do questionnaires about private citizens. They live their lives, they mind their business, and we're cool with that. Not like the people across the pond, those flying monkeys. So I don't understand that one. And then we got Harry and Meghan, the rise and fall. Well, I understand the rising part, but where was the fall? Because all I seen was Harry and Meghan absolutely clocking success after success after success. They just got a new Netflix deal. I mean, Meghan is partnering with Netflix with her As Ever brand. Netflix, the biggest streaming giant it is in the world. That's Meghan's partner. That's Meghan's partner with As Ever. But somehow she's falling. Yes, Meghan has an award-winning podcast. She has a show on Netflix that consistently ranks in the top 10. Harry is all over the place, just knocking it out of the park. They just announced 2 new projects that they're going to be producing, but somehow they're falling. The rise and fall. I get the rise, but where's the fall? Clue me in on the fall. When was the fall? Did y'all notice a fall of Harry and Meghan? These people are sick. They really, really are. And our latest ones in 2026 is Meghan Part 1. And it says, who really is Meghan Markle? This explosive 2-part series peels back the layers of this unique woman who went from ordinary LA schoolgirl to almost destroying the British monarchy. And how in the world did Meghan do that? By minding her business and leaving that hellhole. I mean, it's ridiculous what these people come up with. And then number 2, this is part 2, and it says, in this episode, Meghan fulfills her dream of becoming a star as she marries into the most famous family on the planet, but her fairy tale wedding risks turning into a nightmare. These people are crazy. They are absolutely crazy. I mean, do they not understand how diminished the royal family of Great Britain has become? Nobody's checking for Charles and Camilla. And nobody definitely is not checking for Willie and Kitty. I mean, it is ridiculous at this point, because they live in a bubble and they don't understand that people are not checking for your royal family anymore. They don't. They don't even hold them in high esteem anymore since Elizabeth II has went on to glory. So this is ridiculous to me, but I'm going to put this up. This is an article, and they say that one of the executives at Channel 5, he said when he was in Edinburgh at a TV festival, he said that Harry and Meghan brings in the numbers, and that's the reason they do it. Harry and Meghan brings in the numbers. People are more interested in Harry and Meghan than the ones that are right there in country, who are doing backflips every day to get someone to pay attention to them, who ran the golden goose out of the nation and still cannot hold the attention of their own press. I can't. But yes, this is what this particular squatty said she is going to do. She's going to document all of it. And I look forward to seeing just how many they come up with this year for money. And that's exactly what it's for. And they can say whatever they want to. They always say, nobody cares about Harry and Meghan. They're irrelevant. Well, this man who absolutely runs Channel 5 says Harry and Meghan are not irrelevant. They're actually the most relevant of the royals because they get more documentaries on Channel 5 than anybody does because they bring in the numbers. I'm just saying. And this squatty says the UK's obsession with Meghan Sussex will be for the history books. Every Saturday, prime time on Channel 5, there's always a documentary about Meghan. 6 years on, and the 7 stages of grief, which is actually 5, are yet to be completed by the British media. And I don't think they're ever going to get there. The last stage is acceptance. And I swear they are stuck on bargaining. They are. They absolutely finally got past denial and they are stuck on bargaining. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. This is a repost, and it seems as if we have gotten another article from the Fail. And it's nonsense, of course. And the title of it is Kate Middleton dodged meeting Meghan Markle for as long as she could, but her reservations about Prince Harry's then girlfriend came from a good place. Really, Kate? Did it come from a good place or at the bottom of your black heart? Because that's where I'm thinking it came from. And this original post, this squatty says, jealousy and bitterness from the get-go. Exactly. That's exactly what it was from the get-go. Nothing but jealousy and nothing but bitterness. And then it goes on to say the future queen can't stand the thought of not being the star of the show. She is bratty, lazy, uncharismatic, immature, and deeply insecure woman. Where is the lie? Where is it? And she just thought she was the SHIT before Meghan came along. And then it dawned on her that she had the big fish, little pond syndrome. Have y'all ever heard of that? Where a big fish in a little pond really think they are the SHIT, but when released into a bigger body of water, the realization, it dawns on them that now it's plenty more bigger fish out there than you. And that is what happened with Kitty. When Meghan came on the scene, she realized that she was even more mediocre than she thought because she could get away with it because they were feeding into her ego. They didn't really ask much of Kitty. But when Meghan came along and spotlighted the mediocrity of that whole family, let's just put it that way, of that whole family except Harry, it really showed that this family was nothing special. None of them were. And Megan absolutely captured the world, not just the United Kingdom. Megan brought the eyes of the world to the United Kingdom, and Kitty could not handle it. She had nothing but jealousy and bitterness, just like this particular squatty is saying. And the squatty that reposted this says, they say Megan was welcomed with open arms, yet Kate decided she didn't like Megan before she had even met her. Harry mentioned this moment in Spare. When he brought Megan to meet William, he asked him where Kate was. Out with the kids. Ha! Yes, because she knows who she is. I have said this since forever. One thing about Kate, Kate knows exactly who she is. That is the reason why she's such a bitch, because she knows who she is. Kitty knows exactly how mediocre she is. And that is the reason why she did not want to meet Megan, because she knew Megan's resume before Megan got there. She knew how accomplished Megan was. And so, because of that, she didn't want to have anything to do with her, because we all know mediocrity cannot stand excellence. I'm just saying. And this squatty posted that same post and said this: Megan is smarter, prettier, more talented. She got the brother Kate really wanted, but didn't have the status she craved. Kate as queen will always be secondary to Megan. Where is the lie? And the reason this is true is because Kate is always going to be mediocre. She is going to be mediocre because that's who Kate is at her core. She has never, ever been anything except mediocre. The only thing Kate has been good at in her whole life is bagging a dummy with the honey pot. Now, she absolutely ran that honey pot like a professional. Nobody could have did it better. She got the top prize. She was a stalker that married the man that she stalked. Now, you got to give her her props on that. Kitty did that doggone thing. But anything past that, she's mediocre at. She is. She can trap a dumb prince, but she can't do anything else. And this particular squatty is absolutely right. She'll always be secondary because Megan got the man that she loved. Kate didn't. She got the man that she loved his status, but not the man. You can see it. You can see them, the way they move as a couple. It is so cringy because there's no love there. But yeah, she wanted the big hat. That's why Kate is not going anywhere. People be saying she's going somewhere. She ain't going nowhere because she ran that honeypot to get that hat. You think she's going to give it up? Yeah, but I agree with this squatty. Yeah, she absolutely always will be secondary to Megan because she's mediocre. And I'm going to put this up. Check this out. This is a repost. And the original post says, and as if copying Megan's outfit wasn't creepy enough, Kate also dressed Lewis in Harry's baby clothes. Y'all remember that? Yes, this was not long after Archie was born. Kate showed up on the balcony with Lewis dressed identical to Harry when Harry was his age and was on the balcony with his mother, Diana. Now, you tell me that right there is not weird. And this particular squatty posted about that and said this: this is one of the most disgusting, deplorable, passive aggressive things Kate did after Harry and Meghan welcomed Archie. First, Kate wore the earrings Diana wore to Harry's christening, to Archie's christening. Y'all remember that? Yes, and everybody was talking about that. And we know that royals send messages with clothing. And this meant something. And it says, almost like she wished the baby that was being christened was hers with Harry. Then she dressed Louis in Harry's baby clothes, almost like she wished she was dressing her baby with Harry. This woman is sick in the head and incredibly dangerous. I'm so glad Harry saw through all of the bullshites and wisely kept her away from Meghan. I do believe a lot of this was to exert psychological stress and drama onto Meghan, but also because she was supremely jealous that Meghan was with Harry and he was no longer available to be her emotional support prince. Where is the lie? Harry always treated her so well and so kind and so considerate. He was everything that Willie wasn't to her. She got that emotional support from Harry. And when Harry married Meghan and she saw how Harry loved Meghan, she couldn't handle it. And also, Meghan's excellent. She couldn't handle that either. All right, y'all, I'm going to change gears a little bit, and they are still crying over there. You can just put your head out of the window and hear them absolutely wailing over there still about how Meghan is making millions selling her fruit spray. Yes, and we keep getting articles and panels, and you can absolutely hear their hearts break when they have to admit that the numbers don't lie and Meghan is a success. And I love it. And this particular squatty posted about it. And the original post, this is a repost, and the original post posted a article by, his name is William Setwell. Now, the squatties call him Shitwell. But I am going to try to resist doing that. Well, Mr. Sitwell said, when Meghan can make 27 million pounds selling jam, you know society is broken. Well, now society is not broken when you elevate one family and give them all this wealth while you have children hungry, living in damp and moldy homes that are unlivable, and seniors not having oil for the winter, freezing, and living below the poverty level. But none of that really shakes him to his core and make him think that society is broken. No, none of that. Only Meghan selling 27 million pounds of jam really has him questioning what life is all about. That society is somehow broken. Stop it. And the squatty that posted this article says, it's Saturday. The UK media is still crying over Megan Sussex making over $20 million in less than 12 months. By the way, she hasn't even gone global yet. Full disclaimer, you don't need to read the article. There's too much crying from a clearly financially broke British journalist. That right there. That right there. And also, I'll tell you one reason why they're so mad, why they're so upset, is because they have always had the power of life and death in those rags, being able to take down whoever, no matter how powerful. They even had the King of the United Kingdom scared of them. Yes. So they really thought they were all powerful until Harry and Meghan came along and showed them, no, 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 you're not. We're going to sue you, and we're going to sue you every time you cross the line. And we're going to take your money and we're going to use it for Archie and Lily's education. We're going to keep taking your money and we're going to give a lot of it to charity. But we're going to keep taking your money. And they mad about that because they have systematically been able to take down whoever they wanted. They had the power and now they have run up on the right ones and they haven't been able to turn the people against their prince. They haven't been able to turn the people against Megan. And so this is why they so mad. And then on top of that, Megan has the audacity to be successful, to create a business out of whole cloth and be successful. They cannot handle it. The squatty that reposted this said, they mad. Yes, squatties are cackling. We are cackling. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty reposted that same post and said this: no, Mr. Ishmael, that will be you and the other deranged grifters. Look at this biatchy arse pocket watcher. Do these idiots realize how delusional they are? Mr. Ishmael is a broken and hungry grifter. Cry harder. No smoke for King Charles III. Sales, though. I love this for them. Me too. Yes, no smoke for Charles, none for him, but all for Megan because they wanted Megan to fail. They wanted Harry and Megan to fail. They already had the narrative written out. They were going to fail. They were going to be so humiliated on the world stage that they were going to have to come back with their tails between the legs. But instead of that, Harry and Meghan have absolutely did nothing but thrive, and they can't handle it. Mr. Ishmael here is crying so hard, I bet he is holding his stomach. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty posted an AI result showing that Megan sold over 130,000 copies of the cookbook, Together Cookbook for the Hub Community Kitchen. And this squatty posted that and said this: they really thought a woman who sold over 130K cookbooks would fail at life. Keeping in mind that it was in 2019, it has been on and off the bestsellers list multiple times since, have raised over £1 million so far, and still funding the kitchen and the Felix project. Yes, Megan has always known how to make money. Just understand here, when you're thinking about Megan, she is the only woman who came into that family as a multimillionaires. Yes, Megan had her coins in her pocketbook when she got there. The only woman who did not have to rely on her husband for funds. Megan came in there big balling, and they really thought this woman was going to fail. I mean, hilarious. Hilarious. I love this for them. I do. And I'm going to put this up. It looks like Vanessa Felix is back. Y'all know she went away for a while. She would come on after the Jeremy Vine show, and then all of a sudden she disappeared. Well, she's back, and she has a desk now. She was on a couch, but now she's at a desk. I guess they want to portray her as being smarter, but she is still as dumb as she was when she was sitting on the couch, because she came up with this nonsense right here. And this particular squatty posted about it. This squatty says, Vanessa Felix asking why Megan selling jam to people who make less money than her is weird. Funny that they never asked the same question about King Charles. Exactly. Charles showed up at a food bank in a Bentley and nothing was said. But somehow Megan cannot sell jam to people who are less fortunate than her, that has less money. I mean, how are these people like Vanessa walking around without hurting themselves and running into walls? Because this is so stupid. If you just applied this to the Fortune 500 of companies, nobody would have anything to sell. It is ridiculous. But yet and still, they cannot find anything to criticize her. So what they do is they end up saying something really, really stupid and embarrassing to themselves. The blowback is real. It continues. These people are fools. And this particular squatty said Megan would consider this right after Charles donates his high grove profits, his ocean bed profits, his NHS rental income, and his farm profit for charity. I thought they said she was not royal. Is she only royal when they want to separate her from her money? Exactly. Exactly. Megan has to make a living. These people are crazy. And I'm gonna put this up. This squatty says, you know, Megan's financial success have them shook because they are now saying she must donate all of the profits from as ever to charity because that's the royal thing to do. Yeah, right. We all know the other royals and the royals adjacents who make money off of the royal family. I mean, directly off of the royal family. They ain't giving nothing back. So what are you talking about? How many of them are donating to charity? Stop it. I'm going to put this up. This squatty reposted that squatty and said this. It all gets down to wanting Megan, especially broke and broken. Where is the lie? They want her broke and broken. Exactly. It says all these attacks against her business are just an attempt to cast aspersions on her businesses. Why don't they donate the 75 pounds they earn for talking about her? Why don't they ask William to donate the 25 million pounds he didn't earn? Exactly. Why are you pocket watching someone who is working to make a living? It has nothing to do with you. But it goes back to what this squatty said. They want her broke and broken. I'm just saying. And I'm gonna put this up. It looks like Kitty's little 3 or 4 minute nature video didn't go down well with all of the flying monkeys because they were looking for a portrait. They were looking for something bigger than what they got instead of the last episode of a 4-part series that nobody asked her for. But I digress. Yes, Liz Jones wrote this article and it says Kate's recovery is so moving, but her new video has made me worry. No wonder people are starting to talk. Yes, Kate out there in the wilderness, wandering around like she's an Israelite or something, looking, stopping, looking some more, walk a little more, look up in the sky, look. I mean, it is bizarre to say the least. And this squatty that reposted this said, this 3 minute nature fast shows Kate is out of touch, as if she released a film of herself sitting on the throne wearing a crown and waving from a private jet as she heads off to the Caribbean or on another ski jaunt. Yes, I mean, very out of touch. Very, very out of touch. And weird. Very weird. And this squatty that reposted this said, most royal reporters and so-called journalists know the truth about Kate Middleton's disappearance in 2024. Of course they know. Of course they know. And squatties have filled up their comments with pictures of that scar on the side of Kate's head. I mean, every time they say something, squatties are in there posting that picture. But yet and still, they want to pretend like they don't know. But we are not going to pretend like we don't know. And it goes on to say, yet the cowards continue to participate in the cover up. Where is the lie? Where is it? And I'm going to put this up because this is another reason why they're mad. Because this whole video is over a year old. Yeah, I mean, no effort. She put in no effort when it came to her 44th birthday. And they mad about that. They got to fill those rags with something. They got to sell those rags, and they are giving them nothing. Willie and Kitty are giving them old videos and old pictures from years gone by, and they mad about it. They can't sell that to the public. They cannot sell it, but Willie and Kitty puts in zero effort. This is what mediocrity looks like. And this particular squatter that posted this said, is Kate's new video 1 year old? Isn't this the same still that was released 1 year ago when Lewis took this picture? When Lewis allegedly took that picture. I don't believe he did that either. I believe nothing that comes out of Kensington Palace. And I'm going to put this up because this right here is a stunner, I must say, because I hadn't really even thought about it. This is a repost, and the original post says this: that bald-headed demon didn't wish Kieran a happy birthday. Drama, drama, drama. Now, this is exactly how squatties are approaching this. But yeah, it seems that Willie did not wish Kitty a happy birthday. Not a post, not nothing. Very odd. And the squatty that reposted this said, it's actually so insane that William didn't put out a happy birthday tweet for his cancer-stricken wife. Yes, very, very strange. Y'all tell me what y'all think of this. And this particular swatty said, so he didn't make a birthday post again for the mother of his children or even ask his staff to do so. Same as 2023 and 2024. And y'all remember when he did not put her name on the wreath that he placed at the cenotaph on Remembrance Day back in 2023. Things started to shift back then. Y'all remember? And now, thinking back on it, ever since then, no happy birthday post. I'm just saying. And it says, granted, the main house ignored it too in 2023. So to avoid any noise like that surrounding the helicopter, snow, and overnight bag clip, she posted her nature thingy instead. I'm waiting for he shows her true love in silence. Article from Head Cleaner. We all know Rebecca English. Yeah, it might come out tomorrow. It might come out Sunday. She'll have some kind of article about how they love each other so much. It can go unspoken because they have a way of just looking at each other. They have their own language. Love language. Yes, some kind of crap like that is going to come out. I'm looking for it for Sunday. Yes, Williams Fluffer will be in full effect come Sunday. That's my prediction. And also, y'all, I want to put this up. They had the audacity, the Rangers had a event around Kitty Cat's birthday. Yes, and it was a dud. It was a dud, just like everything that Willie and Kitty touch becomes a dud. And this particular squatty posted it. Now, she put her own little designs on it, but it happened Friday, January 9th, 2026 at 5 p.m. And so, yes, and they had all of these deranged people. They were there, looked like the two twins, the twin boys. Well, they look like men to me. Yes, some Seatley twins. They are, and look, they had the nerve to put up a decent picture, but we all know these people don't look like that. That is absolutely a filter. But I digress. Yes, they did all of that. And this particular squad had posted about it and said hardly anyone turned up for her deranger party either. Yes, it is so funny to me. They get hundreds of thousands of views and hundreds of thousands of likes. But when people actually have to show up, like here, I'm sure they probably had it in spaces on X. Nobody shows up. When people have to show up, like at the burial pole, nobody shows up. So funny, so very funny. But when Megan puts out a new product, or when Megan does something, her fans, her supporters, the Sussex Squad shows up. Real people. It's almost as if all of these derangers, all of these haters that have all these accounts and have all these YouTube channels getting all of these views are being supported by bots, not real people. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this is the second story that came out of the scum. And this particular squatty posted it, and it said, clearing the air. Harry wants the king to open the games. Yes, they're saying that Harry is wanting King Charles to open the Invictus games. And this particular squatty posted about it and said this: if this is true, then King Charles is being asked to open the Invictus games in his role as head of the armed forces and commander in chief, and not as Harry's dad. Watch the same rabid crowd who always cry duty before family throw tantrums at the thought of Charles doing his duty. What do y'all think about it? Now, I'm going to read a couple more comments, and then I'll tell y'all what I think, and y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. This squatty says, I love the passive aggressiveness. If it's true and he asked him, now it's up to the king to be either petty or act like the head of the armed forces that he is. Whichever way is a win for Harry, and this is going to throw the heir into another rage fest. Now, what y'all think about that? Do you think it was a master stroke by Harry, a master chess move? I'm going to read another one. This one says, I can see Harry asking his dad as the head of armed forces. It's up to the sperm donor to do his duty or neglect it. I bet he will find excuses not to attend. I'm sure the Spencers will be there in force anyway. What y'all think? And I must say, a lot of squatties have different opinions on this. Now, this squatty right here has a differing opinion. They say this: King Charles III wants to be front and center of the Invictus Games. Will be another attempt to try and humiliate Prince Harry like he tried at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. Has King Charles forgotten he evicted Harry's only UK residents and did not care if Harry and his family was harmed when their security was removed? So this squatty right here is just saying that she believes that Charles just wants to be front and center of the Invictus Games. Now, this particular squatty doesn't believe any of it. She says, I don't believe, not even for a second, Harry is inviting Charles to open the Invictus Games. Me think that is again PR games from the palace and the royal rota in order to make Harry invite Charles and nothing else. It's a pre-strike. Let it out what the palace wants. When things don't happen, they are going to blame Harry as usual. Anyway, I never wanted the Invictus Games to be held in the UK because this is going to happen on a daily basis for months before the games, creating all kinds of false stories and leaking against Harry. It's the same story again and again. Now, I'm going to say what my point of view on this is. I kind of agree with all these squatties. I agree that I don't believe this is coming from Harry. I believe this is coming from the palace. I really, really do. This is a planet story. Now, I don't know if it was intentional to try to one up Harry and get him in a corner. I don't know about that, but I do believe that this is a planet story and trying to get Charles some good PR. But I also believe if Harry invites him, that would be a master chess move because it puts it in his court. He would have to either turn out to be, the commander in chief and do his duty and act as if he had some sense, as my grandmother used to say, or he could act like the pestilent child that he is and make up some unbelievable story why he couldn't be there. So I believe if Harry would invite him, it would be a win-win situation for Harry as well. And like this other squatty, I don't believe that it happened, but if it did happen, it would be to Harry's advantage. That's all I'm saying. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But he is the commander in chief of the armed forces. So it's going to be hard not to invite him. I really believe that Harry is going to do so. And so it's going to be up to Charles. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I really think that that's the way it's going to go. And I also think that Charles wants to go because of PR. So, yeah, I think that squatty who said that is absolutely true. I agree with them. Charles wants to be front and center of the Invictus Games because he knows what a success they are and he needs good PR. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm going to put this up because a squatty posted this and it was such a great memory. So I had to share. Y'all remember when this happened? When it was I think it was Euro 2020 and Italy was playing England and the Italians held up this sign that said Megan one of us. Y'all remember that? It was so good. And Willie was in the audience. He was. It was so good. And I think Italy won. I think Italy won that. But this particular squatty that posted it said, throwback to an iconic moment at Euro 2020 when Italy won. Yeah, they did win. And Italian fans showed their love and support for Megan. Yes, good times, good times. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.